from the News Channel 5 network. This is Score Connect.
Hi, and welcome to Score Connect. I'm Anna-Vija, your host, and I am a SCORE mentor here in Nashville. SCORE is a national organization of volunteers that help small business owners and entrepreneurs grow their businesses. We are excited to be here at the News Channel 5 Plus studio today to have a really amazing conversation about community with a local Nashville entrepreneur. Perri is a good friend of mine, and we actually just got back from a company planning retreat out of the woods for a few days. So this might be a little bit more of a little casual conversation, but we're excited to have Perri DuGard Owens with us today. She is the president and CEO of DuGard Communications. That is a PR and strategic communications company. I'm excited to share that Perri was recently recognized by the Nashville Lifestyles magazine as an influential woman in business. And you have also been recognized by numerous nonprofits and other organizations, specifically for her work aligned with her passion for youth, inner city, and healthcare. So you're busy.
Been busy. Yes, that is very true.
You are not only, like I said, a personal friend of mine, but Perri is an inspiration to many of the female business owners in Nashville. And we are excited to have her here, not just to talk about PR, which is your business and your passion, but specifically how PR lends itself to community. And community is the name of the game for Score Connect. It is the thing we always seem to come back to talking about. And I'm excited to have you just really share how that leans into a PR and marketing strategy. So thanks for joining us today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
So first question is always, how did you become an entrepreneur?
Oh, goodness. Well, what's interesting is I'm an accidental entrepreneur. I was very much in the corporate space. Felt like that was my desire and dream to be,
climbing the ladder.
Climbing the ladder. But the recession hit, and several of my friends were letting go of marketing and PR persons, and hey, can you help? And so I started consulting. That really grew exponentially, and I outpaced my corporate day job as far as what I was bringing home. So started a firm. But I didn't do it until I'd really doubled, tripled what I was bringing home on that side of the equation. So when I stepped out finally, I've just really had the opportunity to serve multiple entities, healthcare, financial services, large nonprofit, and grow our business in not only the Middle Tennessee area, but outside the state as well, across the country. But I really do consider myself an accidental entrepreneur. However, we've been in business for 9 years, so that's been amazing.
Happy birthday / anniversary.
Speaking We've been celebrating all year, by the way.
It is both, though. It is both like your birthday and your company's anniversary right within itself.
Well, kind of. So March is really when the business was shingle hung, if you will.
Wait, so you don't celebrate your company anniversary until your actual birthday?
It's a whole situation.
It is quite the shindig when we celebrate the anniversary of the birthday.
So
it was amazing. It was very lasting impression. So
we're excited to do it again this year with some strategic thoughts.
Some all the things behind it. So one of the things that we want to talk about is really thinking about the concept of community and why that's important. And I'll tell you, I know that you watch the show and I know our audience is aware, but the concept of community for small businesses and entrepreneurs is challenging because we often feel really lonely. We feel alone. We can't talk to our employees about the challenges that we're having. A lot of people don't own businesses, and so when they're talking to friends or family, they get more caution maybe than support sometimes. And so community becomes very important when we're thinking about growing our business. So when people come to you for strategic communications and PR, how do you talk to them about community and folding that in? How does all that relate to each other?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. Ultimately, people see community as their neighborhood or the city that they live in, but it's really about, for us, when we think about messaging and communications as a whole, it's about what you bring to the table, what you've touched, what you have experience and expertise in. So how do you utilize that expertise to create messaging that helps support your platform, supports your business goals? And so we look at clients and potential clients with the opportunity to really inform what their life experience has allowed them to do when they're in the seat in front of us. And that's really the forming of community and forming of relationships, or even strengthening them within what they're doing and what their objectives are. We love to say at DGC that we take the PR and messaging strategy, match it with the science of marketing in order to meet in the middle of creativity. And so because of that, we're constantly thinking strategically about our clients and what the words are as the foundation that need to be implemented within specific channels, whatever those need to be, whether that's digital or whether that's, a PR strategy or
like
media release
awards or like
testimonial,
being featured somewhere in an article.
Yes,
that
all
makes
of
sense.
those things tend to be outlets of the platform to create community understanding and then lengthening that with longer shelf life.
And I have a follow-up question about, you mentioned right at the top of your answer about the way we tend to think about community is, it's our neighborhood, it's the people around, it's geographic, if you will.
Very good.
How do you suggest or walk people through the process of defining their community? How do I know what my community is, specifically as a small business owner?
That's also a very good question. I think the most important thing to consider when looking at that is what you touch. And again, what circles you touch, what organizations you're involved with. Each one of those components is a piece of your community. If you're involved with a nonprofit, I tend to utilize a lot of my board service as a way to extend myself outside of the work that I do every day, so that I'm interacting with people that are not necessarily who I work with, see on Saturday,
trying
or
to
see on
build a
Sunday.
new audience.
Exactly, while I'm also serving the passion. But that's a community in and of itself, those particular nonprofits. But then in addition to that, you're at networking events, you are in organizations that allow there to be community. And so utilizing those experiences and the expertise that comes from those opportunities really is a way to extend messaging and build community. I love some of the concepts that Sam with Batch, Sam Davidson with Batch, our mutual friend.
A past guest on the show, if you'd like to go check it out on the website.
Great plug. He really utilizes the thought process of you have to have community. You have to engage not just with your employees, but outside of your employees in order to do well with your employees and your team. And so I think being aware of what you touch, what you influence, how you interact are all methods of creating community. And I've never heard of people really thinking of it that way until the last few years, when COVID forced us to think about how can we connect with people. It is very interesting as a small business owner, especially as a founder. I don't necessarily think I can talk to my employees, as you said, but at the same time, I've got to find other founders, other leaders, other presidents and CEOs that have the ability to, help me, and even vice versa, the same. So that community sphere comes in multi levels of life, professional, personal, all of those things. But that really allows the opportunity to extend messaging and community.
And it sounds like you should be able to look at the different facets of your life and say, and again, I try to keep this in the frame of the small business owner, but let's be honest, like, we're comprehensive people. So the community that we have in our personal life, the passions, serving, like nonprofits or volunteerism, like those things impact us as human beings. And that emotion and that impact, like it goes over into being a business owner. Like, it's all one big person. So you could be able to sit down and say, this is where my passion lies within my geographic community or my nonprofit or my volunteer passions, but then here's where my business is serving the community, and that's where these people are. As an entrepreneur, I need to have a community around other peers and entrepreneurs. And then you mentioned another one which you kind of quickly went over, which is your team, your internal team. So like your family is its own little community. Your team within your company is its own little community, and it needs to be served and communicated with, especially in addition to everything else.
That's absolutely right. I think, again, kind of referencing back to the conversation you had with Sam, I really learned from him post-COVID in a presentation that he did how much he poured into his employees.
Yeah.
And I feel as though I was doing that because we had to do it, and that's just the way I am, but I'm also a new mom. So empathy and patience are really key things that I'm pouring into my
With two little boys now, you need patience for that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes. But I'm even able to contribute that to my own community inside DuGard Communications, and that's really helped with allowing people to feel comfortable figuring out what that is, and even finding ways that they see a sense of community themselves inside and outside of our company.
Because we want to identify with our community and feel like we're part of it. That's awesome.
I think that makes us better humans.
Yeah.
Especially coming out of a time period where we were so apart and so unable
Separated.
to really keep a community collaboration.
That makes sense. I want to hear more about how PR integrates with the messaging, like I'm selling a business versus I'm engaging with my community. I'm going to ask you about that when we come back.
Absolutely.
Please join us in just a few minutes.